Welcome to Sonny's, the car wash factory. In conjunction with this training video, please reference each component's owner's manual, available at sonnysdirect.com, before performing any installation, repair, or maintenance procedure. Each manual details specific requirements and settings necessary for the safe operation and maintenance of your car wash equipment.
Next piece we're going to talk about is our wheel and tire cleaner. We make a one frame that can handle both a tire brush, a Bison brush, a Poodle brush, or a Ninja brush. Makes it real easy for us in the factory to be able to satisfy a customer and get to them what they want right away, because we've got frames in stock. We can add a Poodle brush or Bison, any combination, anyone they want on there, and it can be ready to go. All of them fit the same spindle, the same brush, and it's easy to change them out. If you fall in love with the Bison brush, but someone tells you, hey, you got to try the Ninja, you can do that next time it wears out and see how you like it, and then go back and forth. This one here happens to be the Bison brush, and the Bison brush is made up of a series of rings. Each ring has a high and a low on it, so we're actually cleaning wheel and tire all at the same time. The rings slide on to an aluminum extrusion. The nice part about this, contrary to any of the other Poodle brushes or tire brushes on the market today, is this brush can be rebuilt. The only ones that can do that today is this one here and the Ninja brush. The sections are only 3 inches long. If you wear out the front section or the back section prematurely, which is normal wear, then you can actually order 5 or 6 rings, take this apart, slide these off. There's just one screw or a rivet holding them on in place at the end. Take that off, remove them, re-rivet it in, and now you've got basically a new brush that's going to run a long time and give you some more good cleaning. There's a lot of bearings on this unit, 4 of them that are rotational bearings, the ones on the end of the shafts. These need to be greased on a weekly basis. The 8 bearings on each side that are on the back side of the arms are just pivotal. They're only moving about 30 degrees in and out as the brush goes back and comes out to do it. So those only get greased every month, and just a couple of shots of grease each, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute. At the drive assembly here, this brush here being hydraulic, basically we have a hydraulic motor, we have a coupling. The coupling is coupling the hydraulic motor to the spindle. Okay, there's a torque plate here, as there is on an electric drive, and you can see that this torque plate can move up and down, but there's a bolt there. Big common mistake is everybody sees a loose bolt, the first thing you want to do is tighten it up. The bolt is loose on purpose because the brush is 8 feet long or 96 inches. If it does happen to get bent by a truck or some heavy pressure against it, if it bends and this were tight, we would take all that torque and that misalignment and drive it right down into the hydraulic motor or the electric motor, and we would do damage to the seal of the hydraulic motor or the seal of the gearbox on an electric motor. So it's important to leave that just snug enough so that when it goes on and off, it'll have some movement to it. Again, the hydraulic motor is something that you may have to service periodically due to a leak to the seal, and the way to do it is to remove the lines, put them in a bucket, undo the torque bolt plate, undo the coupling, back this off, remove the torque plate, put it on your new motor, and then reassemble just in the opposite direction. The other things you want to check is that when you retract your brush, we send it out with a stop. There's a floor-mounted stop plate, and you want to set it up so that it stops, hits a stop just before it gets past the rail of the conveyor. If you let it go past the rail of the conveyor, you'll get a pinch point here. If you happen to have a vehicle that's pushing to the outside rail, it'll come against this area, hit that rail, either want to jump a roller, maybe cause a collision in the tunnel, or it could actually cause it to climb out of the conveyor. By making sure that it stops just before that, then you'll have good alignment and you'll have good tracking of all your vehicles. The other thing to check on daily is, again, leaks, bent noises. You do have an air cylinder, and on this Bison brush, as we do with all of our wheel cleaning brushes, we use a shock absorber just to steady it coming in and going out, but without a spring. So all it is a stabilizer shock. We put the wash pressure using the air cylinder, same as we would as we wash a wraparound. So we have a retract pressure to pull it back at about 60 PSI, and then depending on our speed of our conveyor, what we're washing, we can go anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30 pounds on the passenger side to push it in to clean the rims, to clean the wheels. This one here is equipped with a TBG 18 rocker brush. This one here requires no greasing because it's a shaft mounted directly to a hydraulic motor. You want to visually check for leaks. It's tough to see into there. One of the easiest ways to do it is to drop a piece of cardboard under there when you go home. Come back in the morning, if you've got an oil leak on it, a spot, then you know you'll have an oil leak, and you're going to want to dig under there, take the hub off, and then check for leaks and see what you can salvage, whether it's a fitting or a seal. Rotation of the brush is always down to the floor. So from the front down, we want to take any dirt and anything we're taking off the car, we don't want to fling it up on the vehicle, we want to send it to the ground. either on the passenger side floor or on the conveyor. So the rotation is down. RPMs on the Poodle and the Bison Brush in the 200 RPM range. Our Ninja Brush needs to run at about 300 RPMs. Tire brush sometimes 350 to 4. So it all depends on where you're at. It's tough to count those RPMs out here, so it's good to get a balance and watch by eye. Same with this rocker brush. This rocker brush should run at about 70 RPMs on the side of this brush. If you run it too fast, it will itself help keep the brush off the vehicle. So you got to marry the speed of this brush to the wash pressure to make sure the wheel brush is penetrating the rim like you want it, but yet this brush here is doing the cleaning of the side wheel and the wheels as well without holding it off. If you spin it too fast, it'll do that. All right, now let me grab the grease gun and we'll show you exactly how to do a little bit of greasing. As we talked about in all of our applications, this is new, so it's not real dirty, but always have a rag with you so you can wipe your grease fitting clean. Put your grease fitting on. Grease on. And again, 2 pumps is usually all we need once we've got our grease in, and then we always degrease, wipe those clean. Again, these were our rotational bearings at the either end of the brush, and then on every arm, there's 2 in the front and 2 in the back, a total of 16 bearings. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but I'm going to show you again. Wipe them off, 2 pumps, take them off and clean them. When you did this one here, we saw a couple bubbles come out. That's all we're looking for. The grease is designed to lubricate the bearings, not blow the seals. If we take and blow the seals that are in the bearing, then dirt or contamination can get back in again. If we move the water and moisture out, that's all we're looking for. Again, take the grease gun, go around top and bottom, both sides, 8 bearings on each side here, 2 in the front. You got a total of 20 bearings on this machine to grease. Again, 4 of them are weekly, the rest of them are monthly. If you take care of the bearings, the machine will run a long time. It's very durable, very stout, and it'll stay clean and dry. The other one, as usual, we said is check for air leaks, clean your air cylinder. When you're running around with your high pressure hose on cleaning nights and you clean the tunnels, always clean your bearings, spray them all down, spray all of your pivot points, because the dirt, sand, contamination will also cause excessive and early wear. You take care of the machine like this here, it'll run for a long time and give you a lot of good clean rims and a lot of satisfied customers. Okay, let's go on to our next piece. So this is tire wheel cleaning brush, air pressure assembly. This is when we're using the air pressure as wash pressure. We've got a manifold, a regulator, free flow going out to our retract pressure set at 60 PSI, and that's where we're gonna leave it. We're gonna snap that in place. When we activate the small button, it'll send air pressure out to extend the brush. We've got 2 different regulators on here because the brushes act differently. The arms are longer. One has more leverage than the other. The yellow one happens to be our passenger side. So we're gonna take that pressure, and you can see we're up to about 30 pounds of pressure, of washing pressure on the vehicle. And on the driver's side, a little bit less. We're in the neighborhood of 20 PSI. We can adjust that by going up and down, but 20 is where we want to start. We set that one and lock it in place. Just a quick test, make sure they're exhausting freely. And now we wash vehicles, we'll watch to make sure they're okay, they don't stall, they're not too aggressive or too light. And if they are, we'll come back here and make a simple adjustment. But that's how we adjust our wash pressure so that we get our rocker brush making its penetration, the wheel brush making its penetration, and getting a nice clean wheel and a clean rocker panel of a car. All right, ready now, the brush right now is in the retract position. The air pressure is set at about 60 PSI to pull it all the way back home. When we energize the air cylinder in the back by pressing in the little test button, we've got 2 regulators. Those regulators allow the brush to come out and get ready to wash tires. We've got 2 different ones on here because of the length of the arms and the position of the car. We've got a driver's side and a passenger side. So we can adjust each side to get the right wash pressure that we need. Normally our passenger side needs a little bit more air than our driver's side, so we can easily make the adjustment by turning our knobs and increasing our pressure. We release it, it comes out, we exhaust completely, we're all the way back. Press the button in again, and we're back out there ready to clean the next vehicle. As you watch the vehicles, again, like I said, you don't want it to stall in the car. That's something you want to check on the power pack with, but also you want to make sure that we don't stall the rocker brush and we don't affect the penetration of the Bison brush or the rocker brush as we're washing. So again, retract, press the button, comes in to take care of the car as it goes, and that's how you adjust the air pressure as wash pressure on the Bison brush or Poodle brush or even tire brush. All right, let's take a look at the next section.
Thank you for watching this maintenance overview video. Please visit sonnysdirect.com and review the complete owner's manual before attempting any installation, maintenance, or repair of this component. There you'll learn necessary procedures, settings, and other considerations required for the safe operation of your car wash equipment.